Hi, this is Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 3 of them, ages 9, 12, and 16. Today I'm participating in a collab about homeschool planning with Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool and Davine from Common the Chaos Homeschool. So when you're done watching this video, check in the comments. There's a link to the playlist. You can go see all the other homeschool YouTubers who are talking about homeschool planning of some kind or another. So don't forget to check for that. And I'll also have links to the hosts playlist, YouTube channel so that you can check them out. Alright, so I will spin you around in a second and show you how I've been school planning for the past little while. I would have done a, homeschool plan with me like some people do, except that I don't do it all at once. I do it a little bit most days throughout the whole summer. I like to just do it little bits at a time. So I'll just show you what I've been working on. Let me turn you around. Okay, so here's my homeschool planner. This is the Homeschool Planner and Essential Organizer that I got off of Amazon. It's very simple, not too thick, not too thin. By what is it called? HomeschoolLifePress.com, but I got it off Amazon. There's the website right there. And this is a cheap Amazon planner. I don't use most of the features, but it does have some tracking things, some ways to write down curriculum and resources, list your accounts, field trips, books read, homeschool connections. There's the reading list, which I never understood why it was in circles. Planning for the year ahead, and so on. And then for each month, there's a monthly calendar, which again I don't use because I use my regular calendar. And then the section I do use, which as you can see I wrote in. So let me show you. So first of all, I just want to show you a blank page. So it just looks like this. You can put your subjects or children across the top and your dates along the side, and there's lines to write stuff in. So before I show you what I wrote, I'll show you my little schedule. So for some subjects, like the ones we don't do together, especially French and math and English language arts and stuff like that, and especially ones that have curriculums for them, I don't have that on here, but the ones that we do together, and I do homemade unit studies basically, science, history, and geography. Last year we did science and social studies. This year, since my grades are 4 and 7, grade 7 would around here would do history and geography separately. We decided just to do that with everybody so we can make sure we're covering all the basics. So you can see the different months, and you can see, so September we're going to learn engineering and science, about what history is in general, just because we've never done history, and about September 11th in September and for history. And I had written geography basics, but we're basically just going to start with Canada, do a couple months of Canada, and then separate into the different sections of Canada. So that will include, the geography of Canada, as well as like some civics type things as well, like how the government works and stuff like that. So you can see it's all planned out here first. And then what I did was, for this month, and now you'll notice that I don't write very neat. I can write neat, but I'm trying to do better than I did last year, because sometimes I couldn't read my own writing. But I put the numbers, so it's Monday, September 4th, Tuesday, September 5th. We don't do school on Labor Day, so we're starting here. And at the very top, I wrote down just a reminder that we're doing engineering, history about in 9/11, and about Canada, just to help me when I was planning things. The way that I separated is I have my son here, my daughter here, our family subjects here, and then my daughter's has 5 subjects that she's doing this semester. So I put 2 of them in this one here, and I split it with a line, and then her other classes here. So she's doing oceanography and biology, nature education, Latin, and English language arts for first semester. We're actually doing the nature all year round, but we're doing this is like a half a credit this semester and half a credit next semester to make 1 full credit. And then these ones here are full credits. So what I did was, for my son and my daughter, my younger ones, I wrote down, let's not look at the first day because that's a little different. So we're doing a review of math, before we start the curriculum because it's a little bit higher than we've been at. So for M, for math, we're going to do a review. My son is doing the Write at Home literature course. I will link these things below in the comments. So this is the Write at Home literature course, and that's what that means. I don't know yet how exactly it works, so I'm not sure if he's supposed to do lesson 1 or 1.1 or whatever until I get full access to the course. I can't write that part in. And then he wants to learn Korean, so he's going to do pages 6 and 7 of his Korean books. And I'll link a link below to what we're using for Korean. I still have to figure out if there's something else that's supposed to be on here. We're going to do French, but we're starting that next week. Or not next week, but the week after we start our school. So we will be worrying about that later. And then for my daughter, she's doing math review as well. Lightning literature. So she's doing lesson 1 here, so she's doing lesson 2 here. Her handwriting, I just printed off pages and it's in her book, so she just does 1 page a day. And all about spelling for 20 minutes. And then I have our morning basket written in here. Last year we had a lighter Friday, so I'd write down what we're doing for morning basket down here. We're doing a full Friday now, so I have it written here. So like this one here, if you can see it, is tea time, Tuesday tea time. So I wrote down what we're doing during tea. And what I want Wednesday, we're going to be doing our passion projects during what I want Wednesday. So for the first day, Wednesday, I'm just explaining how that's going to work, and they're picking their topics. And then for science, I have, specifically what we're going to do. So we're going to do the engineering intro, like what is engineering? We'll just talk about it. And I have word cards that I printed off from a resource. So we're going to learn about the different topics and define and learn those terms. And then for geography, we're going to introduce the ladders. I will show you what that is in a minute. And geography in general, and practice them. And then we have gym every day as well. And then for the other days that we don't do, so Monday and Wednesday we're doing science and geography. Tuesday and Thursday we're doing history and health. So here it just shows history. I only says history 1 and history 2 because I haven't finalized what we're doing yet, so I have to, I think, figure that out, or I don't know. I'm not sure what, see what I mean about not knowing what I'm talking about? I have to go back to figure this because this is 3 to 5, so I'm not sure what I'm bent there. I'll have to find my notes. And health, how many pages they're going to do. So I figure it out based on that, and I always do a couple weeks at a time. So I have the first 2 weeks done, and I started the 3rd week so that I know what's coming up. And I write it all in pencil so that I can adjust it as necessary. I do have to plan out. I can't do reverse planning because I plan, like, we're doing this page or this page to this page for things that aren't curriculum. But yeah, it's easy enough to just not worry about it. Oh, we didn't do, I've done that before. Like, for Math Smart is the name of the math curriculum. Then it was a booklet that I'm using for my daughter. So she's just supposed to do 6 to 7 here, 8 to 9 here, 10 to 12 here, etc. If she doesn't do it, I can just easily scratch it out or erase it and fix it. Let me show you a full week for my older daughter. So for oceanography, she's doing easy peasy online school with a little extra on Friday that I add in. So this just shows she's doing lessons 7 to 8 on that day, 9 to 10, 11 to 12. And for biography, she's doing chapters 9 and 10, plus the questions 11 and 12. And the reason it's not the same number like that is because when we start off on Friday, she's doing something different for oceanography. So therefore, she's always going to be a little bit behind. Not behind, but like behind the other numbers. And the way we do nature is she's going to be reading a book or watching a documentary on Monday. Tuesday and Thursday, she's going to be doing nature journaling. And Wednesday, we'll have a the nature anatomy book. She's going to read the pages, and then she's going to do the worksheets that go with it. This is super easy and not really her level, but I just wanted to add it in. And she's going to use her Friday nature study to actually work on her passion project more since she's older. She'll want more time to work on it. Latin says when she's in her workbook, when she's in her textbook. English language arts talks about, she's doing Mero is the name, the short form for the name of the book she's going to be studying. We're doing English with a Indigenous First Nations theme. So she's reading the Mero Thieves, which I have to get from the library. And then on 3 days a week, she's doing a Indigenous course online, and 2 days a week, she's doing Grammar for Writers from Compass Classroom. We'll be getting access to that to review it. So I haven't tried that yet, Compass Classroom yet, but I will let you know how that goes. The Indigenous course is completely free online. If anybody wants, I'll link to that too, so that anybody who wants to take it can find out where that is. So yeah, this is basically how I plan. I write things down, and then what I do is, let me just get what I need. Okay, so I have these folders, of course they're all different because I got them at different times, that I keep my notes in for, like this one's the morning basket one. So in it I have some things we're going to use for Math Monday, and on this side, and some things we're using for critical thinking on this side, although I have other like resources too that aren't paper, so they're in my little file folder. And then I have, you know, geography and health, music, French and art, science and history. So what this is like for, or which one? Let me show you geography. First geography, I mentioned doing the ladders. I'm going to show you what the ladders are in a minute. We're doing, these are the answer sheets for some of the things that we're doing, or the parts that I'm going to read. So anything like that goes in here. And then anything that is already printed and ready to go goes in their binder. So this is my, eldest daughter's binder. So for her oceanography, for example, I have her lab materials list, so we can easily see what we need to get from easy peasy. And then I have all the papers that she needs to print for the course for the first little while already printed for her. And I also have, under nature, I have a few, this isn't one paper, but these are the papers for the nature anatomy, the ones that you can buy from DelhiSkillbuilding.com, and Homeschool Giveaways website. So it tells you what page to read in nature anatomy, and has you draw or sketch or write or make notes on what you learned. So I bought that as well. So I have that in her binder ready to go. This is just the Mom's Day Off homeschool list. I made a video about that, so I will link it. Well, it's not a full video, but I just mentioned it in the video. So I'll link that below too. It just tells them what to do if, say I, was really sick and just didn't even have time to, like, for more than a day, and I didn't have time to plan homeschool, or I didn't have time for the younger ones to run homeschool with them. This is stuff that I want them to do on their own. Heaven forbid I should have to go in the hospital or something like that. This is already set and ready to go, and they can do homeschool without me. Obviously, if I'm off a day or two, I can just take a break, but if I'm off for a long period of time. This is my son's binder. So under math, he's using Math Mammoth, so I printed off, we don't have the actual, we just have that online, so I printed off the first many pages of Math Mammoth and just put it right in his binder, so it's good to go. History, we're going to be learning about 9/11, so we're doing a free unit study from Pandaya Press, which I'll link below, and also part of one from Learn Bright, which I will link below. Both of them are free, so I have the pages for that printed off and ready to go. Geography, here's the ladders I was talking about. So it's to learn the abbreviation for each province and territory, the capital city of each province and territory, and I think there was another one too, but these are the ones that I decided we would learn. So ladders, the idea is that they practice it, and then they can cover one side and say it and bring it down and see if they got it right. So we're going to keep practicing this until we've got them. And I also want my youngest one to learn how to spell the province names and how many provinces there are. So we're going to use that. For health, we're starting off, we'll do a different stuff, but we're starting off with some teacher resource cabin programs. These are designed for Ontario and Canada specific, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't use them. So these are all printed courses, not courses, but has worksheets. So there's your KWL chart. What do you know about healthy eating? What do I wonder about healthy eating? What I've learned about healthy eating is at the bottom. I'm sorry, this doesn't look the whole page. What is nutrition? I'm just skipping a couple here. Personal and external factors, likes and dislikes, food finances, food availability, clean drinking water. It doesn't come with the answers, but we just learn it either like, well, either the information and the answers are here, or if there's something that we didn't have, then we could look it up. But for the most part, the answers are in the text. Thirst cues, food in my community. Like this one here, think of the 5 closest restaurants near your home, rank them in order of your personal preferences. So you don't need to have information for that. You would just look that up or figure it out yourself. Thinking about food choices. So this is the food and nutrition family. What was it called? Healthy eating. That's it. One. But I have ones for mental health and ones for I think at ones for my older son. I have ones for like drugs and alcohol and smoking. And I have ones for puberty as well. And so we'll be using these for the first couple months of the year. And so I have those printed and ready to go. For art, the first thing we're going to do is review the elements of art. So I have this workbook from kitchentableclassroom.com. And again, this is free. And so I have that in there. I'll try to remember to link everything I'm talking about. And then I found, and these ones this next thing I bought, but these worksheets for different famous composers from homeschoolofone.com. So they don't have the information. You look up the information yourself, but they have the different questions. They have other ones that are for younger kids that are more like a coloring page too. So I printed off the first few that I wanted to use. We only do music once a week. So there's that. And they're going to be doing the social skills course from Easy Peasy Online School. So I printed off the printables that they need for those. So I look at what's coming up and I print what I need ahead of time. Like I've been printing like crazy. I have the first months of printables printed off for most things and the first 2 weeks for everything else. And I have a planning binder that has and notebooks that I write other stuff in too. But this is basically how I plan. I'm just going to use these weeks. And that's what I did last year, and it worked just fine for me. I can easily adjust things and figure out what I need to do. So yes, the only other thing I wanted to mention is that for those that I'm using curriculums for, I found them and looked at how many lessons they have in them. Some things like all about spelling you're supposed to use only for 20 minutes a day, not 1 lesson a day, so that's easy enough. But other ones I looked at and I figured out how many pages we should be doing a day in order to get done in time, and that's how I figured out exactly what we're going to do. So for example, her Latin, she's got the textbook and the workbook. The textbook has different sections, the workbook has different sections, so I was able to figure out exactly how many things we need to do to get done. And I figured out that we'd have to do the grammar section on Monday and the vocab section on Monday. Tuesday we practice the vocab and she does the sentences page, and then she does workbook pages, and then she does the rest of the textbook and more vocab and the workbook pages. And as she does that, each week she will not necessarily finish the Latin one, because I don't care if she finishes it as long as she does enough of it to be a course, because it's a big book. But that's like going to work for how to get 1 chapter done a week, versus like the other ones. Like I said, she needs to do 2 chapters a day of the biography because it's a really big college level course. I'm going to be having, if you're wondering what we're using, more so what I said, I do have curriculum videos from earlier in the year, but some things have changed, so I will be releasing soon curriculum videos that have updated what we're going to be using for the kids for this 2023 to 2024 year. Alright, so don't forget, thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out the comments for all links to the resources and websites that I mentioned and other videos that I talked about. But also don't forget to check the playlist and see the other homeschool YouTubers and see what kind of homeschool planning they're either doing with you or showing you what they did like I did, or anything homeschool planning at all. I would love it if you give this a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do, to see upcoming what's going on in our homeschool. Thanks. All right. Bye.